My name's Penny Jarrett. I'm a business developer, youth mentor and blogger, and I have ADHD, which is attention deficit hyperactive disorder. ADHD is a mental disorder which causes behavioural issues. A lot of people think that people with ADHD can't pay attention, but the thing is we can just pay too much attention. So paying attention to the wrong things or a lot of things at once. Sometimes I feel like I've got 8 brains and each one has like 40 tabs open. I could be talking to someone and then another tab opens and I just start thinking about something else and I give it my full attention. Like I feel like I have to give it my full attention for like 3 seconds. People with ADHD have a lot of energy. So there's a lot of fidgeting, we can't keep still, we usually have struggles following instructions, we get distracted a lot. So it means that we don't finish things and sometimes don't even start things. There are loads of good things about ADHD too. So an ADHD brain is usually creative. There are loads of artists, comedians, singers. Yeah, there's loads of creatives. We've got great imaginations, which lead to a good sense of humour, so we're funny. And I think that's a lot to do with just doing funny things all the time. Like I sometimes find my remote in the fridge. Managing ADHD includes managing your environment, so you're not always going to have control over where you are. For instance, if I'm in a white room, like just completely bland, I find that I start getting kind of like breathless and panicky and like looking around and just can't focus on anything. But if I'm somewhere which is colourful and vibrant, I feel calm. And yeah, I think that's why my house is quite colourful. I didn't realise it before, but when I got diagnosed, I looked around me and I was like, okay. Managing and holding down a normal 9-to-5 job is mad. I've even walked out of meetings. I've been in meeting rooms and yeah, just had the urge to just walk out. I didn't even notice until I was halfway down the corridor that, was I just in a meeting? It's just the brain understimulated. It just searches for stimulation in any way. And if that has to be outside of that room, then yeah. Meetings get left. When I'm selling to customers on the phone, I make affirmation cards, handmade with Sharpies and pencils. And they have positive words on, things that I can look at and remember when I'm having anxious thoughts or just not feeling good. Even if I'm not trying to focus on something in particular, like a phone call, I need to be changing what I'm doing so that I can give enough energy to all my tasks. So if I had a to-do list with like 10 things on it for the day, where a neurotypical person might do each one at a time, maybe even put them in order of priority, I can't always figure out which one I should prioritise. And that's interesting actually, because people with ADHD have an interest-based nervous system. So yeah, we find prioritising hard. If I time box myself and give 15 minutes to each thing and keep coming back, then I'm stimulated enough to complete all of them and yeah, at a high level. I was only diagnosed with ADHD last year when I was 30. So at first it was like such a negative to me. After doing a lot of research, I stopped feeling negative about ADHD because I learned about all the good things. The best thing about having ADHD, I think, is hyperfocus. And what that means is that we can actually zone into that thing for several hours and it not feel like several hours. And we go in so hard, masterpieces come out of it. And that's why, yeah, a lot of creatives, I think, they master what they do if they've got ADHD, because when hyperfocus kicks in, yeah, nothing will distract you, not even hunger or sleep. ADHD is manageable, so it doesn't have to remain negative and it doesn't have to like define you in a negative way. The symptoms of ADHD are with me and they always will be, but they don't have to define me in a negative way. If I learn how to manage my ADHD, then I learn how to manage my life and I can be just as productive and successful as I want, just not every single day.